William Tell. William Tell lives near Lake Lucerne in Switzerland with his young son, Carl. Every day, in the town near Tell's house, Baron Gessler makes everyone bow to his hat. They are all afraid of him. One day, Tell and his son go to the town. They walk past the Baron's hat without bowing. Just then, Gessler arrives. "What's this?" he says. "Bow to my hat, you dogs." "Never," says Tell. "Take him," shouts Gessler to his men. "For this you must die, Tell," cries Gessler angrily. But Tell is not afraid. Then Gessler looks at the apple in his hand and smiles. "Wait, shoot through this apple, my friend, and you can live." "All right," says Tell. "Take the boy to that tree and put the apple on his head," Baron Gessler tells his men, and he laughs. Tell takes 2 arrows out and gets ready to shoot. "You can do it, Father," shouts Carl. "Don't be afraid." William Tell shoots 1 arrow at his son, and it goes through the apple and into the tree. "Why have you got a new arrow ready?" asks an angry Gessler. "To shoot you, Baron," says Tell. "Take him to my castle," Gessler tells his men angrily. The Baron's men take Tell to a boat on the lake. "Run, Carl," shouts Tell to his son. People throw things at the Baron. They aren't afraid of him any more. When the boat is out on the lake, there's a bad storm. "Let's get Tell to help us," shout the Baron's men. "He's good with boats." So Tell steers the boat, but soon there are rocks in front of them. "What are you doing?" Gessler shouts at him. Tell jumps from the boat before it hits the rocks. Suddenly, Gessler and his men are in the water. "You're a dead man, William Tell," shouts the Baron angrily. "And every man, woman and child in the town must die with you too." Tell says nothing. He takes an arrow and shoots Gessler. The Baron falls into the lake and does not come up again. The end. Tom Blood. Tom Blood arrives home after fighting in the English Civil War.
"Where are you?"
he calls to his wife. But there's nothing in the house, and his wife isn't there. He looks at her picture.
"I must find her. But where?"
Perhaps she's in London. Tom goes to London to look for his wife, but no one can help him. Then, after 3 long days, a man gives him some good news. "She's living in that house over there," he says. Tom finds his wife in a small room.
"Why are you here?"
he asks. "We have no money, Tom," she says. "The king has our house and all our things. His men are taking everything from the losers in the Civil War." Tom is angry.
"The king steals everything from me," he says. "So I must steal something from him."
The next day, Tom changes his clothes. "Why are you wearing a parson's hat and coat?" his wife asks.
"We're going to the Tower of London," he says with a smile.
They go to see the king's jewels. After that, Tom visits the tower every day for a week. Soon, Talbot, the guard, is his friend, and Tom can visit the tower after it closes. Talbot meets him at the door. "Come in, parson," he says. In the jewel room one night, Tom hits Talbot on the head. "Now for the jewels," he thinks, and he puts them into his coat. Suddenly, lots of tower guards come running in. "The parson's stealing the jewels!" one of them shouts. Later, the guards take Tom to the king. "What do you have to say about this, Tom Blood?" he asks.
"You take all my things. Is that fair?"
asks Tom.
"Yes,"
says the king.
"Right. You take all my things, so I take your jewels," says Tom. "Is that fair?"
The king looks at Tom for a minute. Then he laughs. "You're a clever man, Tom Blood," he says, "and I like you. You can have your things back. And from this day, you can be one of the king's men." The end.
Lord Bow and the Stone. Lord Bow lives in the south of China. He is a judge, and all the people love him because he is very fair. One day, he and his servant see a young boy in the town. The boy usually sells oil in the street, but now he is crying. "Little boy, why are you crying?" asks Lord Bao. "Every afternoon, I put my head on this stone and have a sleep," the boy says. "I always put my money next to me, but now it isn't here." "I see," says Lord Bao. "So this stone is the thief." He shouts at the stone, "Do you have this boy's money? Answer me!" The people in the street listen and laugh. "What is Lord Bao saying?" they cry. "He's mad." Lord Bao turns to them. "Are you calling me mad? I must fine every one of you a 1-cent coin for that." Everyone stops laughing, and Lord Bao's servant opens his bag. "Put your coins in this," says Lord Bao. Without speaking, the people put their coins into the bag. Lord Bao watches very carefully. When a man in black puts his coin into the bag, Lord Bao looks up at him. "You are the thief," he says. "But how do you know?" the people ask with open mouths. Lord Bao carefully takes the man's coin from the bag. "Look at the oil on this," he says. "The boy is an oil seller and always has oil on his hands. So this is the boy's coin, and this man is the thief." The people turn angrily to the man in black, and he is afraid. He quickly takes all the boy's money from his coat and gives it back. The little oil seller is very happy. "Thank you, thank you," he says to Lord Bao, and then he runs home.
The end. King Matthias and the Good Shepherd. The King of Prussia is visiting his friend Matthias, the King of Hungary.
"I hear you have a sheep with a fleece of gold," he says. "Is this true?"
"Yes," says Matthias, "and I have a very good shepherd too. He never lies."
"I can make him lie," says the King of Prussia, with a smile.
Do that, and half of Hungary is yours, says Matthias. But I know my shepherd well, and no one can make him lie.
I can, says the Prussian king, or half of Prussia is yours, Matthias.
Very well, says the Hungarian king. The Prussian king changes his clothes. Then he goes to look for the shepherd. The Prussian king says hello to the shepherd.
Hello, king, he answers.
How do you know me in these clothes? I can hear your voice, says the shepherd. What do you want?
I have 6 horses for you, says the Prussian king. But first, you must give me the sheep with the fleece of gold.
No, says the shepherd. I can't steal from King Matthias.
What about 10 horses, says the Prussian king.
No, answers the shepherd. So the king goes back home to Prussia. The King of Prussia goes home and tells his daughter about the shepherd. I'd like to talk to him, she says, and she takes a bag of gold and a bottle of wine with her. Look, she says to the shepherd, I can give you a bag of gold for your sheep with the fleece of gold. Never, says the shepherd. I don't need your money. After some wine, he begins to feel very happy. All right, he says. Take the sheep with the fleece of gold, but first you must give me a kiss and be my wife. Very well, but I want only the sheep's fleece, not the meat. The girl takes the fleece back to her father, and the Prussian king is very happy. The next morning, the shepherd goes to King Matthias. What can I tell him about the fleece? He thinks. I don't want to lie.
Good morning, says King Matthias to him. Where's the sheep with the fleece of gold?
I don't have it any more, says the shepherd. Now I have a black sheep.
I see. And where is this black sheep?
Asks Matthias angrily. Sitting next to you, says the shepherd, and he looks at the Prussian king's daughter.
Shepherd, you speak truly, says Matthias. For that, you can have my half of Prussia. And my daughter, says the Prussian king. I can see you're in love with her.
And so, in time, the Good Shepherd becomes the next king of Prussia. The end.
Johnny Appleseed. It's September 1796, in a small country town in Pennsylvania, America. A new baby, John Chapman, opens his eyes for the first time. He looks out of the window and sees an apple tree. When John is a young man, he has a dream. I see a land full of apple trees, he says. Nobody is hungry there because there are apples for everyone. The next morning, John leaves home. His coat is an old coffee sack, and his hat is a tin pot. He takes with him only a spade and a bag of apple seeds. John walks and walks. Over the hills and across the plain, under the sun and through the rain, he sings. And all the time John plants apple seeds. Big trees come from little seeds, he says. At this time, many people in America are moving west. They are making new towns with shops and houses in them. You need trees too, John tells the people in the new towns. And he plants his apple seeds there. The town people give him a new name, Johnny Appleseed. Johnny is a good friend of the Indians, too. One day, in a small town, John sees a young boy. "Here, boy," says John. "Take these apple seeds and plant them." "Thank you," says the boy. "What's your name?" asks John. "Abe," says the boy. "Abraham Lincoln." Sometimes, years later, John goes back to a town or village. The people are always happy to see Johnny Appleseed again. And when he sees his apple trees, he feels happy too. When Johnny Appleseed is ill, the Indians help him to get well again. After many long years, John Chapman dies. But in towns and villages all across America, Johnny Appleseed's trees are alive today, and many have nice red apples on them now.
The end. Lady Godiva. This is the town of Coventry, in England, in 1057. Many people there are poor because of all the taxes. Earl Leofric doesn't listen to the cries of the poor people. At the Earl's castle, his wife, Lady Godiva, is angry. "You must stop all these taxes," she tells him.
To stop the taxes, you must ride naked through the streets of Coventry,
he says, and he laughs. But his wife is not laughing. "Very well," she says. "But are you happy for me to do this?"
Yes,
says Leofric. Lady Godiva meets the town councillors and tells them the news.
"Dear lady, you can't do it," they say.
"Oh yes, I can," she says. Then she goes back to Leofric.
When she rides through the city, people must stay in their houses,
the councillors say.
They must close their doors and windows. Nobody must see her.
Soon, everyone is talking about Lady Godiva.
"She wants to ride naked through the town,"
they say.
"Is it true?"
The day comes when Godiva must ride through Coventry. Her servants take her clothes.
"My lady," they say, "how can you do this?"
"I must do it for the poor people of Coventry," she tells them. So Lady Godiva rides through the streets. Everyone is at home. No windows or doors are open. There is nobody to see her. One man is working in his shop. His name is Tom, and he makes clothes. Out in the street, Lady Godiva goes past on her horse. Suddenly, the horse neighs. Tom hears it in his shop. He opens his window and looks out. And Lady Godiva sees him looking at her. Suddenly, Tom becomes blind.
"Help! I can't see!"
he cries. Soon, Lady Godiva arrives back at the castle. She puts on her clothes, then goes to her husband. "Now, can you stop those taxes, my lord?" she says.
"Yes, my lady,"
says Earl Leofric.
"But the taxes on horses must stay."
He knows about the horse's neigh, you see. The end.